Hey everybody, this is Rick, and welcome to FIST, which is an acronym for Pastor, Have You Seen This? And this is our little segment where you send us in something, some internet content, maybe something you found on the TikTok or YouTube, and you said, what would a pastor have to say about this? And so that's what this segment is all about. Hopefully you'll get more insight on how Christianity interacts with different ideas that make their way around, and so we can maybe figure out whether Christianity is both true and also good and beautiful. So if you have something you'd like us to comment on, send it to this address right here, social@ac3.org, and we'd be happy to comment on it. And now let's just go to the thing that someone sent in who'd like me to comment on. You say this every day, and it's mind-blowing.
Watch this video with me. This guy is about to pronounce the name of God correctly. Let's play it.
Okay. How do you pronounce YHWH when there is no vowels?
There was no vowels.
To say it correctly, you don't use a tongue, and you...
Okay, so I'm very intrigued by this. Okay, so first of all, so everyone knows, Hebrew was a language that only had consonants. There were no vowels. And so some of the things we don't even know how they pronounce them because we don't know the vowel sounds that were in between the consonant sounds. The name for God is like this as well.
You can't close your lips. So his name imitates the natural act of breathing. As you inhale and exhale. So this is how YHWH sounds like. Can you imagine the first word you have ever spoken when you came out of your mother's womb was the personal name of God? And the last word you will ever speak in this life, the last breath you will take on your deathbed, will be the name of God. You will leave this earth when his name no longer fills your lungs.
Watch this.
That is a moving idea, isn't it? And especially so, packaged with a little piano padding underneath. But this idea that, that Yahweh has built himself, his own name into our very breath, which is also interesting because the word for spirit, ruach, in Hebrew is just that word for breath, also breath or wind. So, not being a Hebrew speaker, I actually only studied Greek. I didn't take Hebrew, so I am always at the mercy of translators and native speakers. I don't know if this guy's a native speaker. So, as far as knowing the nuance of the pronunciation, I do know that the name was not pronounced. This is what's, I guess, interesting to say in light of a video like this, is that most of the Jews didn't actually pronounce the name. It was too holy. And so it would actually, have a little insignia inside of Jewish manuscripts to note where the divine name went, and then they just didn't say it. And so because they didn't say it, it became, there's some mystery around how we actually pronounce it. But we do have those four consonants. I don't know what the name of the Hebrew letters are, Yahweh, Haveh. Anyway, I've got that all wrong. But this guy tells us that it mimics the process of breathing. So, that is, if that's it, I would love to actually get this through a rabbi, some native Hebrew speaker who could kind of confirm this to know if this appropriately represents it. But it wouldn't surprise me, as God's kind of written himself into so many different things. Not just this idea, this act of breathing, Yahweh. It's a fascinating thing. But also into, just the very idea that life itself is a word. We are made on digital information, and the Bible says in the beginning was the Word, and God makes the universe at his own command and mouth. So God said is the superscription over every creative day. So it's a beautiful idea and moving, I think, and fascinating. So until we get a specific confirmation, I'm happy to enter into the sentiment of it, that God's name, which, by the way, he doesn't get into this, means I am, or I am that I am. So this idea that God is the very ground of all being and the very ground of all reality, the only self-existent one, right? I am, I exist. Everything else is dependent on something else for their existence, but not Yahweh. Yahweh just exists. He is. I am. So, yeah, very cool. All right, so that's my cold take on this very interesting video on how to pronounce the name of God. So until next time, we'll see you here on Pastor, Have You Seen This?